Hey guys, Q here, Perfection Speed and Sport, down at the smallest body shop ever. So, Sunday morning, and today I'm going to try to finish getting this perfect panel line here that I've been working on so that I have a perfect 3/16 inch space. Now, I'm going to be using, like I said in the previous video, brazing rod here. And I've got this all prepped already. Did what I had to do. And I want to show you a little tip to make life a little bit easier. Now, every situation when you're doing these panel lines and gapping and so forth is different. Sometimes you need to add material, sometimes you need to cut it back. So for argument's sake, up at the top here, I basically need to add a little material. Now, this file is my actual, turns out that the thickness of it is the actual space that I'm working with. So, but you can see here that this is relatively close, and I just need to add a little bit of material. And that's really easy because all I'm going to do put a couple of tacks up on here so I have some material, then I'll shape it out and probably just do it by hand with a file like I did the other side of the car. Now on this lower part though, it's a little different situation because I had to cut back quite a bit. And I'm going to show you a little tip that will help when you're doing this and save you a lot of grief. So you can see here that I have these little marks, and what these little marks are the cuts that I already did in this panel to prepare it. And you don't want to run into trouble if you just go ahead and cut this back. What's going to happen is the skin is going to separate from the shell, and yeah, you can always put it back and so forth, but it's kind of a hassle, and you end up sometimes warping the the metal, the outer skin. So what you're going to want to do, this little tip here, is you just make a little notch here. I got it, I think it's like every inch and a half, and you're going to go ahead and put a tack weld right in from the front. And what that'll do is when you go to cut this back, it'll keep the skin from separating from the shell. Now I already did this. Obviously, after you put your tack in, you'll grind it, smooth it out, and so forth. Now, also, on this here, with the size that I need to use for this edge, I had to cut back a little bit more to allow for this rod. And again, every situation is different. I've seen guys, and a lot of guys will say to make these edges out of Bondo or use, Dynaglass. And I don't know. It just always seems to me you're going to do all this work, and it's always at the worst moment. You have a passenger, especially on the passenger side, someone opens the door, and they catch something or they slam it too hard. And I just think that doing it, if it's a little bit, all right, but typically you end up, I've seen cars where body guys have put, a lot of filler on the edges to make the lines, and it just seems to me that it always ends up, you get a chip in it, it cracks out, just doesn't stand the test of time. So I've got this all set, and I'm ready to go here. So I'm going to come back. Actually, I'll take a little bit of video as I'm welding this in, and I'll show you, what we end up with. I can actually show you how I did on the hood, what it's going to look like, kind of. So you can see on the hood here where I've done the same procedure. I don't know if you could really see that well. Let's see. but this is the same deal here. So obviously you want to get everything as close as you can when you're lining up the car, but in order to perfect those lines and get those gaps 110%, this is what you do. And so yeah, this is the same thing. You know, there's metal here on the edge, and you can see where I have all the tacks, and you just fill it in, and then you've got what you need to make that perfect panel line. All right, guys, I'm gonna get busy and get this rod on the front edge in and try and get this done. All right, we'll be back in a minute. Beautiful, man. Look at this. Perfect. I'll go back in, file this. Obviously, we're gonna fill this all with metal. But there we go, man. This is how it's done. Real happy with this. And you can see what I'm doing as I'm doing this. Now I'm making sure that since this is my gauge and everything is set to this, that, you know, when I have this set, I make sure, just using a straight edge, you could use whatever. I'm just using this flat piece here. And I'm making sure that this metal, the edge that I'm making, is flat to the door. Yeah, it's a lot of work, but you know, this is what makes the difference between just a good job and a freaking outstanding job. And I don't know, it's always been a pet peeve of mine. You see a car that they spent all this time doing all this beautiful body work, phenomenal paint job, and then you walk up to the thing and it's like, this gap is big here, and you know, it's sitting out here, and the back is tight, and the front, it's just, it ruins the whole effect, man. I don't know. This is just something that's been a pet peeve of mine, and you'll be able to walk around, besides the way that it's going to look, you'll be able to walk around, take a spacer, and everything's done on the other side. I showed you the hood. All I've got left is just this right here, man. And then just, you know, finalize everything, massage it, and do what I got to do. But I'll also show you, since this is all in metal, I'll show you how I finish it off when I get to that point. Well, I'm going to keep plugging along here and get this all welded up, and I'll come back when it's all finished and show you what it looks like. Okay, peeps, mission accomplished at the tiniest body shop ever. So I've got this edge all made in metal, and you've seen previously how I did it. Everything's all welded up and ready to move on to the next step, tweak it, do what I got to do. But in order to do that, I need to get the door off the car. We need to strip it down before I can go any further, and any further work is going to be on the inside of the door jamb. So yeah, good day, man. Got this all done, mission accomplished, and moving forward. So we'll get that door off this week. We'll get it all stripped down with 80 on the DA, and then we can move forward and keep moving forward with our body work. Thanks for looking. Thanks for checking us out. And please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and we'll keep making videos and show you lots of neat stuff. All right, peeps, over and out.